For whatever reason, it doesn't matter why or what they're doing today or what they're doing tomorrow, humans have the right to be helped by other humans, and you could be homeless if a couple of issues, if a couple of things happen to you at the right time, at the right place, with the right ingredients, you could be homeless tomorrow.
Well, I became homeless when I was 16. I left home to live with an ex-boyfriend. We left Queensland together when I was 17 to come down to Melbourne, and I've been on the streets for about 4.5 years on and off now in Melbourne, but I'm no longer with my ex because he was the main reason why I became homeless.
So what I realized when I was interviewing a lot of the homeless people, which was the first set of interviews that we did, we were able to see that a lot of the people who were living on the streets and who were also asking for money and help were actually more concerned with the fact that people weren't respecting them and people weren't treating them like they're part of society and they're a human being like the rest of the people walking on the street, especially in the city. That's where we did the interviews, and to them the main issue was just not being treated in a human way.
I don't ask for money. It doesn't really bother me.
So what helps you, in your opinion?
A smile.
Smile.
And a hug.
And a hug. And just...
People don't give us much respect because we're homeless. But with me, I feel so down.
I just sort of like look at that person as a human being, and I think it's important that even if it's just a smile, to just actually acknowledge another person's existence, right? And even that has, I've found that actually has turned some people around. You know, they're acknowledged as a human being. You know?
I came home one day from work. I was a housekeeper, cleaning hotel rooms. I've been doing that for about 7 years. I returned home one night to find my wife broken down, crying, telling me she had a drug habit on a drug called ice. I decided that as I'd gotten through all that stuff in my 20s, and I'm almost 50, that she can't keep doing it and had to go to rehab. I then returned home 2 days later to find the police waiting for me with an IVO, restraining order, telling me never to return home. And I'm at the moment still in court trying to get all my stuff back and sort that out. That meant I was instantly on the street that night. Third night on the street, I was staying in out the back of a friend's place in their shed, and I got bitten behind my knee by a white-tailed spider. Being an idiot, I didn't get it looked at, and it ended up blowing up to twice its size and developed cellulitis, which meant that when I eventually went to hospital, I couldn't walk for 2 months. That killed my job, because being a housekeeper, you've got to be there and running around and stuff, and it was casual work.
So the perception when I first see a homeless person, I try to put myself in their shoes and how I would feel if I didn't have a home. Because as an international student who came to Australia, I too feel I'm in a place that I'm not comfortable in. So just imagining a person who has been here for so long.
For me, I think that is a little bit disappointed for me, because you are healthy, you have no problem, you should appreciate your life and then do something when you're still alive.
The impact on me, I find that what I see now when I see a homeless person isn't someone who is a druggie or someone who is just choosing to be in that state or is lazy, which before I was not aware of. Before I thought, you know, maybe they're taking drugs or maybe they're alcoholics, but at the same time I had sympathy for them. But now I have a lot more understanding, and I think that's really important. And I think this kind of awareness really needs to be included in a lot of curriculums in schools and in institutions, just like the Aboriginal cultural awareness. I find this is important because these people aren't different to anyone who's having a normal life, because they also had a normal life majority of the time, and once they reached that point, they weren't able to come back because they had no one there to help them.
I know that there are thousands of people, that is, parts of families living in cars.
I think they are viable, but they have been through hard situations.
Yeah.
So and hard experience that lead them to be homeless.
Because a lot of them are able to work, they have some kind of experience in the past, and they just had some circumstances which led them to become homeless and be on the streets, whether it's from like a sentence in jail, where they come out and they have a criminal record and they aren't able to have any kind of identification, which then wouldn't allow them to get payments from Centrelink, and then wouldn't be able to work because they don't have any address, and because they have a conviction as well, it would show up on their criminal record when the place that they would apply for work at would do a police check and check their background. So all these issues showed to me that there is an underlying structure within this society which deters and kind of pushes people who are going through some very rough times further down the hole that they're in, which is the homelessness. But it goes beyond that, and I found that a lot of them who become homeless, for example, one of the people that we interviewed, who was on the bridge near Flinders Street, had just come out after being in jail for a year.
Jail late last year for unlicensed driving and drink driving. And yeah, went to jail and lost everything.
Yeah.
And they released me onto the street. Before that I was working.
What happened after that? So you went to jail?
Yeah, and then lost my life. I lost everything.
There are places where they employ homeless people, like cleaning jobs, like odd jobs, but that's still an income. So if we can, maybe that sort of favor.
So do you have a goal like that in the future here?
I would love to become very stable, where I can employ such people, because that will be instead of employing someone who's skilled enough, who has the ability to take care of themselves, like employing such a person will be much beneficial to the country.
There was a large percentage that we found during the interviews who weren't actually taking any alcohol or weren't really addicted to drugs, and you can see just from the way they are, their appearance, you can tell and the way they speak, they're fully aware of their situation, but they kind of help us in a sense. And these people, given an opportunity, I feel like just like anyone else, are able to come back up and do something really well with their life, because I found a lot of them had gotten some kind of wisdom from their experience, and that's something that not a lot of people see in homeless people. And I think you can see that in a lot of success stories in the world, where some of the most richest people around in the whole world, in America and even here, were at one point on the street or homeless, because that shows them that what they took for granted wasn't something so easy to come by. And once they lost that, they kind of lost everything. But if you have a system where it kind of brings them back and it gives them opportunities more than what we have now, it would be very, very useful to have these kind of people back in society. And I think they could teach a lot of people other things as well. So I think just the fact that they have wisdom, it's a very important thing which no one really sees, because when people see a homeless man, it's just someone on the street.
And what do you feel like living on the street has taught you?
To appreciate the little things. More than anything else, appreciate the little things.
Like, give me an example.
Well, material stuff is nothing. Material, like, phones, TV, radio, movies, stuff that I used to, really enjoy, it means nothing. All in all, as long as I've got, I'm warm, I'm fed, and I have some form of shelter.